they were tales of those who shapeshifted under the branches of willow trees. Those sweet winds became their mother tongue, and that fertile ground was where they drew their strength. The Pansy Folk were born, and their story continued to reach deep into the earth and shoot for the heavens. I want to be like the moon, powerful when suffocated in darkness, intoxicatingly beautiful when full of light.
I definitely came out as bi-curious. I think definitely just through TV and media, just seeing confident women or women that I was attracted to at the time kind of brought that out. And I had friends around me who were openly queer that kind of pushed me to be myself. I was bi-curious for a long time, up until 16, 17. And then once COVID happened, we kind of had more connection to the queer community and being open about yourself. And that's when I learned about pansexual people. And I kind of identified more towards that than bisexual. And then I've been there ever since.
So my queer journey began in high school when I was 16 and I came out to my parents as bisexual. Because when I did that, my mom said the phrase, it's just a phase. So that was super fun. So I kind of pushed it aside for a little bit for the rest of high school just because I was really upset with how that was worded. Until I was out of high school and I was in college before the pandemic, right before the pandemic. And I was just kind of, trying to get back out there, be in more queer spaces because I never really put myself in those queer spaces. So I did that, and then comes COVID, and COVID hit, and I tried even more to put myself in those queer spaces, to make myself feel more comfortable in my own skin, because I felt like I was just pushing it off for so long. So when I was finally able to do that, that's when I was really able to open up about who I am and how, I'm a queer woman. But that's also when I found out that I wasn't bisexual. I was more of a lesbian. So now I am here, and I have been a lesbian since 2020 or 2021. Yeah.
It feels freeing. There's a lot of aspects of being a woman or connecting with another woman romantically that is very different, at least in my experience with dating men. You don't have to do the whole thing of tearing down the patriarchy within somebody. Obviously, we have our own issues, but sometimes the inherent gender construct of male versus female or men and women in today's society, especially with cis men, it's really hard to date them or even watch other people in those relationships and inherently see the internal patriarchy within a relationship. And I feel like with us, we can kind of just vent about it, and we don't really have to experience that or tear that down within each other, because that's kind of the reason why we're together, to not deal with that.
I've never dated a guy, but I've been on dates with guys, and they're just dumb. Sorry, straight guys, but they're dumb. So being with a woman has emotional intelligence, and it's just we can vent to each other. We do literally everything together. We make a one-person job into a two-person job because we like each other's company, and it's just so nice when you are able to connect with that person on that level.
Not saying that this is all cis men or straight men, but it's also about compassion and empathy for one another, especially in terms of women's cycles and bodies are very different. There's a large under-education, miseducation. It'd be really hard to explain to a cis man in the relationship. So it's just, we have compassion for one another, especially when we go through hard times emotionally or physically, because we've already been in each other's shoes.
to back off of that, even if we haven't been in each other's shoes, we both have enough empathy to be able to be in each other's shoes and feel what they feel.
Or sit and have a conversation about it.
Exactly. Or sit down and have a conversation about it, because we work through our stuff. So that's also really nice, is that we're able to do that and, you know, get deeper in our relationship.
No, that's it.
Little sapling gone inside. It's safe now. There's no need to hide. Stretch your petals and greet soul. He's been waiting for you all this time. Be nourished. Let your heart grow full. Dance through fields of dreamt lands.
Consistent, like it's always there, like in every aspect of my life it exists, and so it's kind of just like always on my mind, but always like a quiet presence in the background, if that makes sense. When I was in high school, it wasn't like entirely with like the COVID lockdown. It was started before that. But I think the COVID lockdown and like being alone like gave me a lot of time to think about things, and then also it sort of gave me the room to sort of express expression without like being worried about like having to go to school and see other people's reactions. So I kind of took the opportunity to do things like cut my hair short and, you know, explore my sense of style, I guess, which, like I said, started before lockdown, but I think that really gave me the opportunity to expand on that. And then it sort of got to a point where it was just like it doesn't feel not embarrassing, but like when I was younger, I was so like insecure about like what other people would think about me, and now it's just sort of like I don't even think twice about what other people think about me. When I first started exploring my queer identity, it was very much based on what I saw in other people and sort of trying to emulate that, because I sort of like would be envious of like the way other people presented themselves or expressed themselves or whatever, and so I was like trying to embody that. And then as time went on, I kind of realized that, you know, trying to be like an ideal type, like a person, trying to fit myself into like, oh my god, I really like, you know, like instead of trying to imitate a specific person, the more individuality I have and the more I kind of just do whatever I want, the happier I am.
And I realized that as I got older, the creativity, the strength, the resilience, the power to create art and beauty, these are things that are just human traits, but through a queer lens, I think there's something truly divine about it. And I think the love shared between two men, specifically, is one of the most beautiful things in the world. In a way, I've always thought about it like sun shining through these trees, or a really good day at the beach. That's how it feels. And any flower that wants to make it out the soil has to experience a bit of growth, a bit of darkness in order to bloom. So I think all the pain that I experienced and continue to experience was needed. And it was just a testament to my strength and all the strength that queer people hold inside of us innately.